everybody, and welcome to a debrief of Space Wolves versus Tau. I'm Brad. I played Tau, joined by...
I'm Jamison, and I came in too early with Space Wolves.
You came in too early?
Yeah, I just started talking when you were still talking.
Yeah, he's trying to talk over me because he thinks he's a new cool kid on the block. So, Jamison, this was your first game of 8th.
Yeah. It was
what are you
quite
playing?
the experience.
Tell us what you're playing while you're deploying.
So in the troop slot, I got some. I got 3 groups of 5 blood claws there. You see me deploying 1, and then I've got a unit of 10 gray hunters. I've got 3 Thunderwolf cavalry, so 5 Fenrisian wolves, a dreadnought, a murder fang to be more precise, and then I've got a wolf priest on a bike and Ulrich, the Slayer. He'll be running around with the gray hunters.
And then off the table, you have a drop pod as well.
Yeah, that's got one of the units of blood claws, and then I've got long fangs in that back building at the top there.
And then myself, I've got a Ghost Steel. I've got 3 stealth suits. I got a commander, 3 crisis battle suits. Those are off the table right now. The Ghost Steel's infiltrating on the right. The stealth suits are infiltrating on the left. Then in the back bottom building, I have my Pathfinder team. Then I've got a strike team, a breacher team, 10 Karut, and a broadside. This is a open play game of 75 power level.
Mm-hmm.
So you went first.
Yeah, and I really just moved up the board because I was not close enough to do anything due to most of my army being close combat focused. I do have the long fangs in the back building that took a couple shots. I don't think they might have got one person. I don't think so. Maybe.
I don't think they did anything.
But yeah, I've got my blood claws there with the dreadnought running up the board, hoping that they'll help him out a little bit, and then the wolf priest with that, and my Thunderwolves on the left with the Fenrisian wolves coming up, just going toward that big glob of troops in the bottom middle.
Yeah, and like you could have charged my stealth suits,
I did
but
not
you just
see
like
them.
totally forgot and didn't see them.
Yeah,
there,
that building,
so
man.
Lessons
and
learned.
Their stealth suits are too effective.
So you basically did nothing except shoot your long fangs. So then I started my movement. I moved my Ghost Steel kind of close enough so I could get some shots at you. I pulled my stealth suits away so that it would be a little bit harder for you to get the charge, and so I could shoot you. One thing, too, that I do try to do, obviously, is I try to keep all of my guys within 6 inches of at least one other unit. So if you do charge them, I can at least shoot Overwatch with somebody else. And then I brought in the upper left-hand corner, my crisis battle suits and my commander and a bunch of drones. So I just threw them down behind you and was like, surprise.
Yeah. And the long fangs
they went
suffered.
Bye-bye. Yeah,
for that.
So I killed 4 of them, and then I think you failed your morale, and the last guy died.
And that really changed how I was approaching this game, because I was just going to full force run at you, and then you dropped behind me, and I had to make a decision on how to split my forces to try to deal with that. And especially since you took away my shooting, long-range shooting at least, it really made me have less of an impact on this game, due to the fact that you have everything within 6 inches. So if I do try to get on the charge, I'm taking everything, which was, I didn't know about that at the start of this game. And when you first told me about that rule, I thought it was just an 8th rule and not a Tau special rule. So I was like, well, Space Wolves are going to be terrible to play in 8th. But yeah, I mean, now I have to change how I play against Tau just because of that special rule.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I guess basically what were you learning as you were doing this? You went with not very much shooting, a lot of close combat. Have you now adjusted your list to compensate a little bit? Well,
I've increased the amount of troops that I have in a unit. So I was playing 3 units of 5 blood claws, and I'm now going to, if I ever do that again, it's going to be units of 10 for sure, just to help with when you start picking them off, it's easier for them to pass the morale test. And then also, the HQ units I used, the Wolf Priest, he did a lot with the Thunderwolf Cavalry, but he couldn't help anyone else. Same thing with Ulrich. I mean, I was running him with the Grey Hunters, but the healing bombs, it doesn't help anyone with 1 wound. So he really was useless this game. I just had him running around looking at stuff.
But the priest did keep your wolves alive because
Yeah,
I knocked them down to like 1 wound several times.
That was a great strategy.
And it kept bringing them back up because it's not like you have to roll to hit. It's like he's either getting 1, 2, or 3 wounds back.
Yeah.
Because it's D3 wounds.
Yeah.
You're picking somebody
And
within
so
3 inches.
Introduce a couple more Thunderwolf cavalry models, and that just becomes super hard to deal with, I feel like, for anyone playing me. The Dreadnought was a Murder Fang, which is the first time I've ever played with that. And he did all right. I wanted to try out the Flamer, I guess, a little bit. I don't think it actually did anything. So, I mean, just the Wolf Claw really helped once he gets in close combat. I did drop in that drop pod there in the middle of the field, and it's got Lucas the Trickster along with 5 Blood Claws. And they're going to go for that, what was it?
The Ghost Steel.
Yeah, Ghost Steel.
And they basically are like at that exact like 9-inch mark away from it. There was tricky because you had that unit you had to be away from, and then you also had
the ones on the ridge, and then your
yeah, and then so like you had this little spot where you could fit, and that's where you chose to go. And now obviously you're getting really close. You want to charge your Dreadnought. You want to try to charge everything, right? Your Wolves, your Dreadnought.
And I was trying to bring
guys.
those Grey Hunters up the left side to really come in from the left on all those troops. But when you dropped in behind me, I had to turn their attention, and they become the only ones facing your like Warlord and drones and battle suits. And so like they are able to take some shots. I think they maybe take off a couple drones, but ultimately they really aren't effective to deal with that group of guys back there.
So on that topic, what would have been a better strategy with me dropping behind you like that? With those guys.
With my guys or just
so
like
you turned your guys around to attack them. What should
I should
you
have just
done?
ran.
Okay.
Because
if you moved your guys
and
you advanced,
side of I should have just tried to wipe out this bottom part of the map, and then turn everything because I play a lot of like splitting up kind of strategies. You can see I'm like I got my Wolves and my Murder Fang going into the main group of troops down there in the bottom, but then I've got some like 5 Blood Claws going on your Ghost Steel, which really wasn't effective.
Just a little too spread out.
Yeah, and so like if I just focus on taking out one thing at a time with everything, or just coordinating more guys, because like there's the Thunderwolves there by themselves on that left side of those troops, and the Murder Fang by himself on the right. The Blood Claws, I failed so many charge rolls to get in, so like the Blood Claws didn't get in with the Murder Fang. Lucas didn't get in with the Blood Claws over there at the Ghost Steel. Ulrich doesn't get in with the Grey Hunters up in the top left. And so it was just a lot of bad rolling on my part, but a lot of good rolling just to save the Thunderwolves whenever you'd shoot at them.
Yeah, those Thunderwolves, man. 3-up inbones, they just don't die. I could put tons of stuff in it. It's like, oh, he's rolling 3s no matter what.
Yeah.
Which then I have to make the decision on like, okay, well, what do I shoot at you? Because if my AP isn't going to affect them at all, it's really hard for me to put something that has high like AP in that. But then a lot of times if the AP is high, then it's putting out, D3 or D6 damage, which would be really good if you had to take that on a wolf, because I could just kill it flat out.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with that 3-up save, like you were saving everything.
Yeah. And the Storm Shields are really good. It's just it is the trade-off of I can't have range weapons if I take a Storm Shield, it seems like. At least that's using Battle Scribe, which is what I use to build my list.
Yeah.
That's what it makes me do. But I think that goes across the board when the Dreadnought has a Storm Shield, like the Venerable Dreadnought, he doesn't have any sort of range.
Yeah, I mean they're holding it in their arm basically.
Yeah, so it makes you more close combat if you do take the Storm Shield.
And I think it's perfectly fine, because I mean if you're just going to pop off a couple pistol shots with those guys, I don't think that that's as effective as having a 3-up invone. If you didn't have a 3-up invone, those guys would have been dead.
Yeah, almost
turn 1, because I could have put AP2, AP4 shots into it, and you'd have been saving, on 6s or no save at all.
Which wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, and they would have just been dead. So I think that the 3-up invone is very, very helpful, especially because you're staying alive very long. And if you did run 6 of those instead of 3, that's even scarier, because it's like they're going to stay alive forever. you not only have like your power weapon, but you have your wolves that attack now too, which is a huge like new thing where the wolves are attacking.
Yeah, it seems like they took away attacks from the riders and just gave them to the wolves. So it didn't really. It feels like the Thunderwolf Cavalry got a slight nerf, but with the wolves attacking too, that brings it back. So I forgot to do that my first turn, or the first time I got in close combat with the wolves, I think, to attack with the actual wolves, crushing teeth and claws. But once I did start using those...
You wiped me out.
Yeah, those are really effective. And so just trying to get more cohesion with my army probably would help me last a lot longer and keep a lot more troops on the table.
Yeah, and obviously one tough thing that you go up against is all my suits and drones with the fly special.
Yeah.
The fly keyword allows me to just jump out of the combat, and then you have to keep chasing me down. So it's easy for me to jump away, shoot you, jump away, shoot you.
Especially with the Overwatch, if I'm charging every time I'm trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm just getting multiple shots and chances to, pick you off little by little. So yeah, my Ghost Steel ran away there. My infantry squads are basically just whittling away down there against the wolves. I think there's like one guy left, drone at the end of this phase.
Yeah.
And then I slowly was picking away your dreadnought. I wiped out your whole group in the upper left. So yeah, it was kind of whittling away. Obviously, what I think the biggest thing that you should have done, and I think it could have changed the game pretty fair, is if you wouldn't have chased the suits in that upper corner, and you would have just said, screw them, I don't need to worry about them. Just keep going that route towards the battle.
I haven't gotten the tactic of ignoring anything yet. I'm
I know
trying to deal with everything on the battlefield.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing to do when you're playing, is to decide what your targets are and what is dangerous or more or less important to take out. Obviously, like that group of suits is a very dangerous target because they are putting out a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But if you can move in advance to outrun them, and because all of their guns that I have on them in most cases are only shooting 18 inches. So, I'm moving 8 inches, I'm shooting 18. You could outrun them. You had a good 8 inches on me already.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have outran them if you got a good advance. But even if you didn't get a good advance and you just moved away, now I have to make the decision, okay, well, do I want to chase him?
Yeah.
Do I go for the objectives? What do I do? And for me, it's like, okay, he ran away, I don't care. I would just go get the objective point, move them all straight up the center, and I'll meet you back, around the building, basically.
Something I need to start doing is playing the objectives because, especially with the early part of this game, I was just trying to do something against your army. I wasn't looking at the objectives as much as I should have been. And so you see, like, once all my Grey Hunters got wiped out, Ulrich just ran away and he went to an objective just to get a couple points. But at that point, it was probably a little late due to you having, like, the objective that you just stood on the entire game in that bottom right. And then the majority of your troops being on the objective. That was where my Murderfang is now. But, I mean, as you can see, my Murderfang and my Thunderwolves did really good against that group of troops, but...
And there goes your Dreadnought.
Yeah, speak of the devil, he's gone. And now I'm just trying to play objectives. And so you see I have one Bloodclaw left. He's running away to the right to try to get an objective over there. And then Ulrich's still on his. And the Thunderwolves are trying to move up to deal with your Warlord, maybe get that point along with that objective up there.
Yeah, and that's basically the exact same thing that I was doing with the suits. I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to try to get Slay the Warlord because the game's coming to an end. This was
your
in the last
Warlord
turn.
jumped on top of that middle building.
Yeah, you're correct. So my Warlord's sitting on another objectives there. So like right now I'm on 3 objectives. I'm going for the 4th with my suits up there. One thing to note too is when you were fighting the Ghost Steel in the bottom right there, I did jump out of combat and I moved him so that
Lucas
was the closest model, so I was able to take the character out.
Yeah, they were in close combat, and you jumped away from that close combat, and then just shot him. And his special rules don't apply to getting shot.
Yeah, so right there, basically, I moved all my drones so that I had more models closest to that objective, so I would get it whether I was able to kill you or not.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was able to just put everything into your wolves
and
take them out. There. So I think it was a good game, though, for your first game. You learned a lot, obviously.
Definitely learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to playing you again, just to take the strategies I've learned from this. And
so let us know in the comments and everything what you guys would play if you play Space Wolves or Tau, what you like, what you don't like, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.